Stop trying to be the alpha. Your dog knows you aren't a wolf. For decades, trainers have told you to dominate your dog, pin them down, eat first, walk through doors ahead of them, establish yourself as the pack leader. Here's the problem. Your dog isn't in a pack, and neither are you. Today, we're stripping away the biggest fraud in training history. We're exposing the myth that turned millions of dogs into prisoners in their own homes. And stick around because later we're going to explain why that guilty look on your dog's face isn't actually guilt at all. But first, if you want to understand your dog better, hit that subscribe button to join the Happy Tails pack. We promise we don't bite. This is the alpha theory, and it's fake science that refuses to die. Let's get into it. The alpha hoax. The year is 1947. A researcher named Rudolph Schenkel is studying wolves. But he's not watching wild packs roaming free. He's watching unrelated wolves thrown together in a concrete enclosure at a zoo. These wolves are stressed. They're fighting for survival in an artificial hierarchy. And Schenkel watches them battle for dominance. He sees brutal aggression. He sees submission. He coins the term alpha wolf. The study spreads. Dog trainers read it and think, perfect, dogs came from wolves. This must apply to them too. Wrong. Decades later, another researcher named David Mech actually goes into the wild. He studies real wolf packs in their actual habitat, and what he finds destroys the entire alpha myth. Wild wolf packs aren't dictatorships, they're families. The alpha male isn't some battle-hardened champion who fought his way to the top. He's just dad. The alpha female? That's mom. The rest of the pack? They're kids. There are no dominance battles, no violent overthrows, just parents raising offspring until the young wolves leave to start their own families. Mech was so horrified by how his early research was twisted that he spent decades trying to correct it. He literally asked his publisher to stop printing his own book. He wrote papers begging trainers to stop using the term alpha. Nobody listened. Because by then the alpha theory had infected the entire dog training industry, trainers built empires on it. TV shows dramatized it. Millions of dog owners bought into the idea that their pet was constantly scheming to overthrow them. The method was simple. If your dog misbehaves, you physically dominate them. Pin them on their back in an alpha roll. Grab their neck, show them who's boss. Here's what actually happens. You terrify your dog. You damage trust. And you don't fix the behavior because the dog never understood what you wanted in the first place. The whole theory is based on a misunderstanding. Dogs aren't trying to dominate you. They aren't wolves competing for pack status. You know what they are? Domesticated animals who have spent tens of thousands of years learning to cooperate with humans. They literally evolved to read your face, follow your pointing, and bond with you. The irony is staggering. Wolves naturally cooperate with their family units. Humans invented the dominance power struggle and then blamed it on the wolves. You don't need to dominate your dog. You need to teach them. There's a difference. The guilty look. Let's kill another myth while we're at it. You come home, the trash is destroyed, your dog is hunched over, ears back, eyes down, that face. You know the one.
You are in deep, boy. What the did you do? What did you do?
You think he knows what he did. Nope. Alexandra Horowitz is a researcher at Barnard College. She ran an experiment that destroyed this myth forever. She had owners leave the room, then she either let the dog steal a treat or she didn't. When the owner came back, she told some of them their dog misbehaved even when they didn't. And she told others their dog was good even when they stole the treat. The result? Dogs showed the guilty look based entirely on the owner's anger, not on whether they actually did anything wrong. If you came home angry, the dog looked guilty, even if they were innocent. If you came home happy, the dog looked normal, even if they'd just committed a crime. That face isn't guilt, it isn't remorse, it's appeasement behavior. Your dog is reading your emotional state. They see you're angry, they don't know why, but they know the person who controls the food is acting like a predator, so they try to de-escalate. Ears back, eyes down, body low. It's the canine version of, please don't hurt me. It's not an apology, it's a survival protocol. So when you yell at that guilty face, you're punishing fear. You're reinforcing the idea that you're unpredictable and dangerous. and your dog still has no idea what the actual rule is. What actually works? Let's talk about real science, the kind that actually trains dogs. It's called positive reinforcement. It's based on operant conditioning pioneered by B.F. Skinner. The concept is simple. Reward the behavior you want, ignore or redirect the behavior you don't. Dogs learn through association. If sitting gets them a treat, they sit more. If jumping gets them nothing, they stop jumping. You're not dominating them, you're programming them. And here's the kicker. This method is faster, more reliable, and builds stronger bonds than any dominance-based training ever could. Don't believe me? Look at the professionals. Military dogs? Trained with rewards. Police dogs? Treats and toys. Service dogs for disabled handlers? Positive reinforcement. Guide dogs for the blind? Zero alpha rolls, just cooperation. The most serious high-stakes working dogs on the planet are trained with the exact opposite of dominance theory. And they perform flawlessly. The irony is beautiful. Your trainer tells you to be the alpha, meanwhile the Navy SEALs dog gets a tennis ball for doing its job. But positive reinforcement only works if you're consistent. Dogs don't understand rules the way humans do. They understand patterns. If you sometimes let them on the couch and sometimes yell at them for it, you haven't set a rule. You've created confusion. And confused dogs look stubborn. But they're not being defiant. They're trying to decode mixed signals from an inconsistent leader. Timing matters more than force. A reward given 3 seconds after the behavior is useless. The dog doesn't connect them. But a reward given immediately, that's a locked-in pattern. The problem isn't your dog, it's you. You're inconsistent, you get frustrated, you expect them to read your mind, and then you blame them for not being psychic. Here's the truth. Dominance-based training destroys trust, and trust is the foundation of every working relationship. Dogs who trust you work harder for you. Dogs who fear you comply only when you're watching. Respect isn't fear, it's cooperation. So here's where we land. Your dog isn't a wolf, and you aren't either. The alpha myth damaged millions of dogs for 70 years based on a study of stressed captive animals in a zoo. The scientist who started it spent his life trying to undo the damage. You don't need to dominate your dog. You need to communicate with them. You need to be clear, consistent, and kind. Stop fighting a war that was never happening. If this changed how you see training, hit that like button, subscribe to Happy Tales for more myth busting, and tell us in the comments, what training myth were you taught? We'll debunk it next. This has been Happy Tales. See ya.